How many steaks would you have to eat a cow? It seems simple, right? But not necessarily. You can't just say that your hypothetical cow equals X amount of steaks, because you have the shank, round, loin, flank, rib, chuck, brisket, and short plate. On top of the 8 different parts, you have the non-edible parts. So in our Px plus Q equals R equation, P will be how much one part weighs, X will be how many of that part, Q will be the non-edible parts plus any other cuts that are included in one part, and R will be the total weight of all. So 8 equations, 1 for every part of the cow. So let's start with the flank. The flank of a cow is commonly used for hamburgers. So in our Px plus Q equals R equation, X will represent how many hamburgers. P will be how much one hamburger weighs. So one hamburger weighs approximately 0.25 pounds. So that will be what P will be. And Q will be 19.7 pounds of the flank that is bone and fat, plus a portion of the flank that is edible, just not hamburgers. So what will R be? R will be 39 pounds. How much of a flank of a cow weighs on average? So you would set up the equation as 0.25x plus 23.6 equals 39. Subtract 23.6 from each side. You're left with 0.25x equals 15.4. Then you divide each side by 0.25. This eliminates 1. Now you have x equals 61.6. This is how many hamburgers is equal to the flank of a cow. There is a small portion of the flank that cannot be ground up into hamburgers but is still edible. This is 3.9 pounds of meat that becomes flank steak. The average weight of one flank steak is 0.75 pounds. So 0.75 times x plus 35.1 equals 39. 35.1 was found by subtracting 3.9 from 39. So x equals 5.2. The flank is equal to 5.2 flank steaks and 61.6 large hamburgers. The flank is a pretty small part of the cow. Why don't we do something a bit larger? The chuck. The chuck weighs a total of 201 pounds and has 5 different cuts of meat, which include the following: leg pot roast, ground beef, arm pot roast, grouse pot roast, and Boston cut. These are the total weights of each part. Px plus Q equals R. Our R would always be 201 pounds no matter the equation. Our Q will be inedible parts, which are 37.2 pounds plus the total weight of 4 out of 5 parts that we are not doing an equation for at the moment. So if you're doing the Boston cut, you would subtract 12.1 from 201. Here are our 5 cuts. Now, for each one, we need to find out what P would be. So, we already know a hamburger weighs 0.25 pounds, a pot roast weighs around 4 pounds, and a Boston cut weighs 0.5 pounds. For each one, we need to do 201 minus the amount that one part weighs as a total for Q. Here are the equations for each one, which I've already done for you. Now, the answers would be x equals 18, x equals 156.8, x equals 6.8, x equals 3.25, and x equals 24.2. In conclusion, the chuck would equal 157 hamburgers, 29 pot roasts, and 24 Boston cut steaks. So, to save you some time, I calculated all the different cuts and parts, and here's the total. 2 standing rib roasts, 20 rib steaks, 19 short ribs, 13 servings of braising beef, 5 flank steaks, 18 porterhouse steaks, 9 T-bone steaks, 13 club steaks, 72 sirloin steaks, 29 pot roasts, 24 Boston cut steaks, 51 top round steaks, 49 bottom round steaks, 10 tip steaks, 34 servings of stew meat, 6 rump steaks, 3 servings of cube steak, 319 hamburgers, and 23 boneless steaks. Our question in the beginning was, how many steaks would you have to eat a cow? 300 steaks is the total. This is not including any sort of pot roast, hamburgers, or anything that's not a steak. And all these steaks are various different sizes and cuts, so that has to be taken in as well. One of the 7th grade standards I covered in this video is to solve word problems leading to equations in the form of Px plus Q equals R. The standard is use variables to represent quantities in a real-world or mathematical problem, which is our cow and steak problem, and construct simple equations and inequalities, which is our Px plus Q equals R, to solve problems by reasoning about the quantities. All this information was gathered from the University of Tennessee Institute of Agriculture. How much beef to expect from a beef carcass? All this information is based off a 1,200 pound steer, which is pretty average. Thank you so much for watching.